Okay, so welcome to part 3 of my Celebr8 Mixed Up album. So what I've got on my desk is I've been through basically paper packs that I've got open. So they might have a couple of pages, it might be whatever. And I found this, which is the Celebr8 Seaside Escape paper pack. So I've got this page, which is PP8101. So I'm going to use 2 of those. And then I have also found this one, which I have no idea what it is, but it's got the bits and pieces on the back. And then on this side, it's got some of these cutter parts, which I think I'm going to use. I'm not too sure if I'm going to use Life is Better in flip-flops or Everything is Fine when there's sunshine. But yeah, got that one. Then I've also picked up this one. It's got the blue and it's got the dots. I've picked up this one, which has got the birds and the sand. And this one, which has got the tidal thing. Okay, so I'm going to pop those to the side. Then out of my batch of flaps, I'm going to take out 2. So I'm going to make this like a double page scrapbooking spread, I suppose. Can put that to the side, and I'm just going to prep this. And I can use my small guillotine, which I've got over here. And I'm just going to cut these 2 flaps to size. And the size I'm going to use is 7 3/8. Okay, because I'm actually not going to use the small guillotine for this because I want to cut them together. So I'm going to pop on over to my large guillotine and I'm going to just cut these to 8 inches. 8 inches by 7 3/8, and I've chopped them down just a little bit. Okay, so this I've taken off just a hint so that when I pop these in the album, they will fit like with literally a 1/16 of an inch on either side. I've also gone with, instead of making them flap and close in so that they meet in the middle, I've gone so that they have a little bit of a gap. So I think I have just written this down incorrectly. Sorry, I'm just going to measure once more because I had it in my head how they were going to fit. Sorry, it was supposed to be 7.5 by 7 3/8. So I'm just going to pop these back on my guillotine. And then just a little hint that when I do work with them, if I'm cutting and I wanted to kind of make a double page, or on this page like almost like a quadruple page spread, I like to cut them at the same time. So I'm going to get my scoreboard out. Let's pop that up in front of me. And I'm going to score at 1/2 inch on the 7.5 inch side. So just make sure you've got the 7.5 inch side. This one I'm just going to score at 7 inches. Technically it's correct, but I'm not a lefty, I'm right-handed, so I want to make sure that it's easy for me. I'm then picking up my 12 mil, my 1/2 inch tape, and I'm just going to tape in that 1/2 inch section created by the score line. And many of you, if you're wanting to make it exactly the same, you should be able to get the paper store. I've used relatively current stuff. I know that I have got stock still. Okay, so I've just scored those. And I'm going to pop these into my album. So lining this up. I'm just going to pop it down on the left hand page, and this one I'm going to move over pop this on the right hand page. So you'll see I kind of always use my little zips. Okay, so page 2 and 3 are going to open up and make this really large space for photos, which is really cool. Sorry about the cat. And I worked out that if I cut this really carefully, I can get the full lighthouse on. So I'm not going to measure, because why would I measure? I'm just going to pop a mark top and bottom of where I'm going to cut, and I'm going to go across to the big guillotine. Okay, so it's going to fit there, like so. We could also add it in there and add a second page, so let's not do anything yet. Then this one, now I've already cut off, okay, so I've cut off the C sort of side, so I've got to be careful. In fact, it's not going to work that well around the middle because I've actually cut off that blue, but we'll make a plan. Okay, so I'm just trying to get it so it fits in here. And I'm going to do the same on the big guillotine. I'll be back, promise. Okay, so we have got a little bit of blue there, which I'm not too stressed about. Okay, so these are going to be the 2 sheets I'm going to use on the outside. So again, I'm just going to cut it to fit. Just placing a mark where I'm going to cut it. And you just need to go through at the end and just remove all these little pencil marks. I can use the small guillotine now and just chop that off. And the same with this one. I'll keep those because those are cut to size. Okay. Then if you remember, on these pages here, I used a brown jumbo java. Definitely don't want to be using jumbo java here. And I'm thinking with the white on white, I'm actually going to leave all the chalking. I'm not going to chalk this one at all. So I'm just checking, and I'm a little bit long on this page. I'm just going to nip a bit off the top. Okay, and then, oh, this is great, I forgot to put the lid on. Okay, well, we'll use this glue. I'm going to come in and although I'm not using glue on this, although I'm not using chalk on this page, it doesn't mean to say I won't use chalk again if I have one that's a little bit vintagey. I just don't love everything chalked to death. So I'm going with that one on that page. This one on this page. Okay, so that's the outside. We could put a photo mat there, and we could easily put a photo mat there and a journaling card there, or journaling. So there we go. Opening up into the next page. Remember, I chose these. Now I'm going to think about how I'm going to use this, because remember, this is an 8x8 album. This is 7 and what did we have, 7.5, so it's like 6 7/8. So I can't get a full piece out of here, and I want it to flow. So I'm going to be using a collection of these. So the middle pieces, we're looking at 7 3/8, and I'm thinking see, I've also got the C looking one. So I'm going to cut the 3 of these to 7 3/8. Yeah, 7 3/8. This is going to be slightly smaller, but I can modify that a little bit later. So 7 3/8, again on my big guillotine, because it's just easier to work. Okay. Okay, and then I think I'm going to divide this. I'm going to divide this in half. Okay, I'm going to divide all of them in half. So 6 inches. I'm going to do 6 inches with this one, but it's probably going to be less. Okay, now because I've got them in smaller pieces, they're manageable. I can now look to see how I want to arrange them. So I'm thinking that either we put the sand on the outside, the pebbles on the inside, and then possibly just a strip or the pebbles there. But I'm thinking more like a little strip of blue to go there. Okay, so I kind of like the pebbles in the middle, so let's stick those down. And again, I haven't chalked inside, so this whole collection of these 2 pages won't have any chalk on them. And I'm going to stick it to the middle. It's quite busy if I use the spot, so I honestly think that I'm going to use this blue. Just want to move this to the side, and I'm going to stick, oh, okay, no, I am going to stick this side down. Should have trimmed this one to the just fits on the page. Okay, but I haven't trimmed the other, so I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to stick this piece. I could have done the birds on this side, so it like made a scene, but I like the more plain colors for many albums, so that you can add your journaling cards and your photos. Because after all, I spoke about it in the last video. What are we actually making the mini albums for? We're making them. Okay, so we need a piece that goes in there. We're making our mini albums to house our photos after all. So we need a piece that goes there. Right. And then we need a piece that's going to fit in here. So let's just cut those quickly. So this piece should fit perfectly there, and we should be able to close the mini, which we can. And this is its little partner, and it may be a little bit big, but I'm not too stressed about that. I'm going to stick it down. I could cut a piece off that other one, but I'm not too phased. I'll pop one in there. I think I've gone a bit crooked when I cut it as well. This one we're going to put over the join. Okay, so it closes. You will set that white strip because it's got to close. If you put it right next to each other, they're not going to close. We could come in and even put a strip in there if you wanted to. I don't want to. So next I'm going to cut this piece, which again, it's got to be, allow this piece, this flap to close. And all I'm trying to do is kind of line these up. This should fit in here, and that should be able to close. Definitely got something a little bit off. Definitely got something off because of that. I can see it there, and then this piece is going to come in here, which we don't want as big as this. And I kind of wanted to match this side, so I want it to look uniform, because that's my style of scrapping is I like things that are uniform. Makes my heart happy, and one should always do what makes their heart happy. So that's a little off cut which we're going to keep. And we're putting that on there. Okay, so that closes in, that closes in. Now I've got that little bit that's sticking out, which I wanted. It's got the little extra bit. Because often what happens is if you fill these and as you close them, they'll end up smushing, and I don't like that. Okay, so that's my next two pages, so page 2 and 3, super easy. I got a bit of glue there, which is not great. Page 2 and 3, like super easy. We've got these off cuts now. Remember, we cut these off from here, so we can come in with these and we can use them. We can use them either as a mat or we can use them to create another little flap. So I'm thinking we should create a little flap just to break this here. So I'm going to cut these down. I'm leaving the edge. I'm going to cut these down to 6 inches, both of them. And I'm doing the same with this. So I'm cutting, keeping that little edge on it, cutting it to 6 inches. Okay. And then I'm going to use this as my flap. So I'm just going to pop it on my scoreboard. So at 6 inches, I'm going to score at 5.5, making sure that my little blue bit is to the right. Okay. And I'm now going to add this. So instead of making it a flap that folds over, I'm just going to put tape on the smooth on the wrong side, the B side, so the side you don't want to see now. And these are pretty much the same, so it wouldn't really matter which side you put the tape on. And I'm thinking that if we have something in the middle, I don't think I love that idea. So I'm actually going to turn it around, and I'm going to pop it one opening up on the left hand side. So it's going to open like so. Okay, and fold in. And then I'm going to do the other one so that it opens down on the right hand side, so it adds a bit of interest. So again, I'm putting it in the same sort of in the relative space. It's going to be the same. I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay. And then what you can do is you can create like a little belly band or something that I can tuck into. So here you can see how crooked this is. Something's crooked. So this is definitely off. But we could create a little tuck spot. So I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to close that for now. Pop that to the top, and I'm going to cut of course I quite like this one, and I also like life is better in flip-flops. Everything is fine when there's sunshine. I'm wondering whether we should use the Brody Num Nums. Sorry. I'm just also looking at what's at the back. I won't use those, so I'm going to use the birds. I'm not a big circle fan. She says cutting a circle. But I know for the embellishing that I won't really use the circles. Okay, so I'm cutting this little guy. And I'm wondering whether I can fit it sort of there, so it then becomes the closure. So something completely wacky and wild. We've got 3/4 of an inch. So I'm finding, I just want to trim this because it's not great on the top. Okay, so the center is 2. Then I know that I've got 3/4 of an inch on either side, so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3/8, and then from the 2 I'm going to count 1, 2, 3/8, and that will give me, okay, so 3/8 is half of 3/4. That's going to give me a space for it to go there and a space for it to go there. And then what I can do is I can just tape across there so that it becomes, and I'm hoping, something I've never attempted before, so I'm hoping like crazy that it will work. So I'm just going to burnish, and burnish, okay, and then I'm going to tape. So I'm going to pick up my 3/4 inch tape, which is attached to my ring. And then I'm going to pick up my 1/2 inch tape again, and I'm going to pop a 1/2 inch on either side. So this is a 4x6, so I found the middle, and then I've scored 3/8 of an inch to the left of the middle, 3/8 of an inch to the right of the middle. Then I've turned over, put my 3/4 inch tape down the center, and I put 1/2 inch tape on either side. And we're going to hope like crazy that this works. Okay, so I'm just opening up, and I'm going to position this In fact, I'm going to put glue on the back. So I use glue on the back when I want to be able to have a little bit of wiggle time, and I use either the clear tacky glue or the Tombow. Right, so I'm going to pop this down. Just going to make sure that this still closes. Yes, it does. Now that I've stuck that, I'm going to remove the 1/2 inch tape. Could corner around those. No, I don't think I'm going to. So I'm going to stick that down. This should then pop in underneath there. So it's going to keep it flat down. I'm going to do the same on this side. And there we go. So we've now got, let's check. Yep, it's working. That will stick up because it's a place to tuck our pages to stop them from flapping. And that is page 2 and 3 done. So a quick and easy page. I'll be back with page 4 and 5 soon. Hope you enjoyed that video. Let me know in the comments. Tell me what you've used. It'd be nice to hear from you. And thanks for watching. And remember, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please subscribe and like my channel, subscribe to it so that you know when the next video is out.